Sochi, Russia, host of the 2014 Olympic and Paralympic Games, and this week also hosting the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship 2015. 30 teams have been cut down to only 8, and after this evening there will be only 4 left competing for the medals. Our featured game will be the quarterfinals between Russia and Hungary. I'm Sarah Carlson, and once again I'm joined by my lovely Norwegian colleague Sander Rølvåg.
Why, thank you, Sarah. There's a bit of a crowd in for today's quarterfinals, as we'll see the playoff stages here. USA will face off against our neighbour Canada. Norway will take on Denmark. We just saw earlier today beat Italy in the qualification game. Of course, our feature game is between Russia and Hungary, but also Estonia and Sweden will be facing off for a semi-final spot. For Russia today, we'll have Victoria Moiseva and Pyotr Dron with team coach Sergei Belanov.
And we're also going to take a look at the Hungarian lineup. It's Dorottya Palanca, Zsolt Kiss, and their team coach, Zoltan Palanca. This team, the world champions of 2013. We're also going to tell you about the rules of mixed doubles. 2 players, 1 male, 1 female. 6 stones per team, one of them is pre-placed. 22 minutes of thinking time, and we play 8 ends with extra ends if necessary. Players will throw either stones 1 and 5 or stones 2, 3 and 4. They are allowed to switch positions between ends. Both players are allowed to sweep, and no takeouts until the 4th stone of each end. So we normally have some very aggressive curling in mixed doubles. Here you see the inside of the ice cube curling arena as the teams are all sliding out for a final warm-up before the start of the game. Russia will play red, and they outdrew Hungary on the draw to the button, so they will have hammer in the first end.
Only the 1 game on earlier today. Now, of course, 4 games, so a bit more noise expected. And also a few more fans, especially since Russia, of course, is on the ice. We'll see some of the locals come out and cheer for their team. First stone is Zsolt Kiss for Hungary with the in-turn freeze. We'll try and get the ball rolling here with a nice shot. This one looking all pacey, and this one will actually slide all the way past. Really heavy shot from Zsolt. It's not something we're used to seeing from him.
No, definitely not. And Victoria Moiseva she has a really good chance now of getting Russia off to a great start. Put this maybe top 8, top 12 foot, make it really difficult for Dorottya Palanca to play the next perfect freeze. Of course, Russia undefeated through the round robin, perfect record there. Hungary finished 3rd in their group, but they had the best last stone draw out of all of the thirds. So they qualified automatically for quarterfinals. The other 2 thirds had to play a tiebreaker this afternoon. It was Denmark that came through there. They're now playing Norway.
Well, we've played 1 stone each. So we're down to the players throwing 2, 3 and 4, and it's Dorottya Palanca throwing those rocks for Hungary. Still a very young player, born in '95. Same year the movies Braveheart and Toy Story came out. Which might
because we remember both of them. We're a bit older. What did you say?
I would say maybe there's a few people back home watching that feels a little older than we are, but I do remember those movies coming out. So yeah, very young.
Yeah, and already a world champion, but so is this guy, Pyotr Dron. Won the last time Russia hosted the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championships in Chelyabinsk.
This one not curling enough for Drawn. He's been on fire all week, and we'd expect him to throw some amazing shots for this game.
Yeah, but do you think both teams, maybe with some extra adrenaline here, we've seen them all come a bit too heavy, and this time with that draw from Drawn actually being on the angle, Dorocha Palancha, if she could sit on the nose here, it would be really good for them. She could outcount all of the red ones back at the tee line.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bit of adrenaline for the first end, maybe first two, but as soon as that will settle, I think we'll see some excellent shot making. Four of the best players out in the field. As we see, whole tap up. That shooter will sit in the pocket of those two other stones. Not really going anywhere. But Russia with hammer and playing the red stones. Might want to play a hit on the top yellow, get rid of the back one.
Yeah, just playing hack weight here.
Kolotka.
Kalotka, it's one of the few Russian words that we know, so we're really happy when they use it. I think it's they're trying to just come to the inside here, push the yellow backing far enough so that it doesn't bother them and still keep both reds around. So hack weight could do them a lot of good here. Piotr Drawn want to come to nose of the yellow. Inside, of course, is okay too.
Nichiwo is another word I know in Russian. Means nothing. Moiseva wanting this one to curl a bit. And will curl enough to hit the nose of the yellow, but doesn't get the best angles.
No, it's lined up.
I would expect this would be maybe the Russian senior team.
Yeah, of course, World Seniors is also going on here in Sochi.
I haven't been able to make my way over there to watch. There's been a lot of mixed doubles this week. Some days we had 5 draw days. So a good 25 games some days.
And so many teams in the mixed doubles, a whole 30 teams, and I think it's fair to say that the best 8 have qualified.
Well, doesn't come all the way down to the forfeit or that one. And now Russia looking to see if they can make this yellow one go. Well, not going to play the hit. They're just going to draw to lie 2, hoping that they're not going to leave a double. Hoping that Hungary might just play a shot to remove 1 and be left a shot for 2. Out-turn draw for John. Working this one hard for line. Starting to really bend. Comes close to the guard here, but there's a stone at the top of the 8, which he will not pass. But I guess he has lined up the yellows for a double. Of course, Hungary with 1 more stone to throw. Right now, it does look like Russia might have a double to score a potential 6. So Hungary having to put another stone in the house somewhere. Somewhere smart.
Where would be somewhere smart?
Well, I guess somewhere in the forfeit here. Just make sure it's not leaving a triple.
Nagyon picit beljebb.
Szűkebb, söpöd! Söpöd! Irány miatt végig! Irány miatt nagyon kell végig!
Schultkish also early on the sweep here.
Yeah, like you said, Sander, he needs a good one. Can't give Russia a shot for a score as big as that.
Oh, this one's going to actually go all the way through the hole, slip to the back of the 12. I wonder if Russia has a big shot here for a big score.
Maybe communication error there. Called on for line, but should probably have told Russia that he was going to be all the way back there.
That is a bit unlucky too, I think.
Yeah.
You'd have a hard time.
Not to catch any of them.
Yeah, to play that shot again would be very hard. Now, we've seen Moiseva with a chance for a big score earlier on the broadcast. She ended up missing. See if she has her nerves under control. I think the shot is there. No? Am I seeing something that's not there?
Well, they might be worried that they're just going to pick off their own red, but...
Well, there might not be enough room to come around the guard and catch it thick enough.
No, you might be right,
When you see it from this angle, you will see that that top yellow is slightly buried. You had to come close to the guard to make it, and maybe you wouldn't have enough weight to move the yellows. So just playing the draw here. Not being tempted to throw the difficult shot for the big score. Picking the safer option. Got to come past this red, and will.
And that's a really, really great draw.
Wow. Good start for Russia. Score of 2. And that will please the home crowd. Of course, some other games ongoing, 3 other quarter-finals. With Sarah Carlson, maybe you'd like to update us on what's happened in the first ends.
I would love to. Denmark stole one against Norway, and Estonia stole one against Sweden. And Canada with hammer scored 2 in the first end, playing USA.
Yeah, both North American teams in the playoffs, and 3 of the Scandinavian teams have made it through.
Только вес.
Мне кажется, можно будет.
Внимание. Только
Есть,
вес.
есть, только линия.
Линия похожа.
Только
Пока
линия.
чуть шире, но будет.
None of the Asian teams managing to make it to the quarterfinals this year.
Можно.
Линия есть. Линия есть. Фриз, фриз, фриз.
And that is how you play the first freeze.
That is amazing. As see Sergei Belanov on the
right-hand side, yeah.
Yep.
Very happy, probably with a score of 2 and with that freeze. Really important for Zsolt to tap these stones apart now, get rid of the backing early, move them around. He was really heavy with his both of his draws in the previous end, so will be a bit better now. Get them apart a little bit, but didn't manage to keep his shooter. And here is Dorotcha's father, Zoltan Palancha. And who's his friend, Sander?
I believe that's Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yeah, maybe you're not so old after all.
It was pointed out to me though.
If that's what you want to say. And, yeah, because Zoltkish didn't manage to leave his shooter in front, left that shot for Russia, but Piotr Dron also a bit heavy here. And yeah, Hungary allowed to play the takeout now for the first time in this end. They could actually get rid of both reds or even get the one off and roll in. Set themselves up to score a couple or more. Anywhere inside should be really good. Really nice shot. And look where she leaves her shooter. It's that's really in a nice spot. Russia can't really freeze their way out of trouble here, so they're going to go for the run of the guard. It is a red guard, so that's certainly what you'd like to run down into this. And this is where I think Russia has been having a different approach from many of the other teams. When they get into trouble, they've been running the guard or splitting the guard or something like that, rather than maybe trying to freeze their way out of trouble here. It's been really good for them so far, but didn't make contact this time.
Does roll the shooter away from the central line, however, so Hungary having to replace that guard. Not always so easy when the ice curls as much as it does. You'll see Zoltkish with the broom mid-12, so about 5 feet of curl on the intern side here for Dorotja.
Yeah, it really need a good guard here, because just to keep it looking good. We have seen a lot of guards slipping into the rings. I think she should be pretty good with this one. And where that red one rolled to as well, it's kind of cut off the out-turn draw as she slips maybe a bit too far.
Yeah, I don't think you don't want to enter the rings on those type of shots when you're facing off against Piotr Dron. He missed the first one, but you'd expect him to make contact here. Make a few of the yellows fly. One of the biggest curling players on the scene, close to 6 feet 5 inches, 197 centimeters, just like Ivan Drago from Rocky IV. And he will make contact with the yellows, and 3 of them go. Great shot. Oh, more. Is it out, the back one? I think so.
I think so too, and just exactly like you said, Sander, you can't put the guards in the rings when you're playing against players like this.
You don't want to let down your guard.
No,
you'll be knocked out.
Like against Ivan Drago.
Yes.
Still though, the positive thing for Hungary is there's now corner guard in play, and they have shot stone, so they could still set up a good deuce. Even though it's always heartbreaking to see 3 of your own stones go flying out the window.
Dorotja Palancha as Eve Muirhead and Thomas Ulsrud as her sporting idols.
Not bad role models for sure.
Yeah, not the worst pick.
Yeah, Doroch are really, really engaged with the curling,
Не хочешь сет?
doing a lot of junior trainings and plays mixed curling and women's curling and pretty much everything for Hungary right now. So it's got a real boost from when they won the world in 2013,
Чуть
Fredericton.
побольше, можно?
So Moiseva going to draw. Oh, sorry, going to play the hit in the back.
Чип! Чип! Да-да-да-да-да-да! Чип! Да-да-да-да-да-да! Жестче! Жестче! Да-да-да!
Want to keep the shooter around.
Еще!
Well, it's going to roll a bit too far.
Да, я...
And it's an 8-foot draw for two. Schultkish making his way down to the hack. Bit of a no-brainer here. Did play the European Mixed Curling Championships back in 2013. Got a bronze medal. Playing second. So knows how to play the upweight shots as well. Schultkish.
Yeah, plays third for George Nagy in men's play. And he has done a really good job here. Scores two to tie the game after two ends, of course.
Well, that's what we like to see. A tight game. I'd like to see 8 10s here, or maybe even an extra, if we can be so greedy.
I think our chances are good. They're really, really tight games. The really important ones have been close. As Estonia steals one on Sweden to take a 2-0 lead, and USA scored 2 back on Canada, so 2-2 over there. Finally, you'll be happy to know, Sander, that Norway scored 2 in the second end against Denmark, so they're up 2-1.
Yep, still fairly open though, all across the board. No huge scores.
No, and 78% for Schultkish throughout the tournament. Really, really great numbers for the player throwing 1 and 5. Of course, a tricky position. Lots of time in between you throw your shots, and they're normally quite different too. This one though needs to be around the guard if he wants to keep those numbers high. And he has wrecked. Will slip into the rings. And good for them, they didn't move the guard too much, because you don't really want to give your opponent 2 corner guards when you don't have hammer.
%68% for the tournament. Moiseva, ranked number 7.
Чуть больше веса.
A little bit up and down, but she's had some really good games.
Внимание! Чип!
We'll see if she can pull out one of her best ones today, when it really, really matters.
Можно тэп, можно тэп, можно тэп.
So sweeping this one just to keep the line, not wanting to bump their own red too far, but not a bad shot. Does allow Hungary to come down and freeze.
Yeah, freeze, or even just a slight tap if they get the line right. And 71% for Doroch Chapalancha, also very good numbers for mixed doubles curling. Anything over 70% is really good.
Well, you see most of the men play. Most of the men play the spot 2, 3, and 4. She's outranked a lot of them.
And that's a nice shot. Of course, it's perfect if she curls just a tiny bit more. But both of those reds are now behind the T line, and If there's one thing we learned, it's behind the tee line is not where you want your stones in mixed doubles.
Гард снять, нет?
Тут потом двойной идет.
These teams played against each other last year, although Piotr Dron here was not playing with Moiseva. It was Alexander Krushelnitsky. Sorry about the pronunciation. And in that game, we did see Russia win by scoring 1 in the 8th end. Russia also had Hammer starting off the game, so we'll see how this pans out, as we just saw the graphics telling that Dron is the #1 male player in the field so far.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised. We've only seen him do great stuff when he's been on our TV games.
Yeah, used to seeing him play lead for Team Russia. Played at the Olympics in this very venue last year, but getting a lot more respect for him. Just seeing how complete he is as a player. He's got every shot available to him.
And some powerful sweeping too, I would add.
All in all, a very good mixed doubles player.
So last year, Russia won all of their games in the group, and then they ended up losing the quarterfinals to Spain. Hungary, this team, they beat Norway in the quarters last year, and then they lost the bronze medal game to Spain.
It'd be tough to go undefeated through the round robin and lose out in the quarterfinals again. I'm pretty sure Moiseva is going to do everything she's got to avoid that happening. As you see, one of the Hungarians maybe touching a rock. Moiseva says it's fine, and we move on.
It's a really nice shot by Hungary. I wonder if they were maybe one shot too soon coming into the rings again. Could they put the guard up once more to avoid drawing now an opportunity to blast? But then again, they're set up pretty well, and blanking isn't really a point in mixed doubles because you lose hammer if you blank. So. Definitely a lot of movement from Dron. It leaves 2 yellows. Opened it up well though, because it didn't really look like Russia had a shot to score, but they should have now. Forfeit, it's a lot more open.
Nem baj, ha megüti, egyel elviheti. Kicsit húzd meg a... Ó, jó az irány. Jó az irány, nagyon jó az irány. Söpört.
This time trying to get the guard in the rings. I think the important thing is to get a good line, and they do. I wouldn't mind them putting the guard in front of the house, because now if Dron makes a double, he could stick his shooter in the rings, and if Hungary needs to hit it, then it'll be wide open for Russia to score. If they ever had the guard in front of the rings and Russia run it back, they wouldn't have a stone in the house. They could play another draw that made it more difficult for Russia.
Huge weight from Dron, or Mega Dron, as some might call him. Will spill 1 and 2 yellows, and ends up corner frozen on the 3rd yellow, which does actually mean Hungary might come around those two, and it'll be hard for Russia to get to it.
Yeah, but they've moved it off the center line now, so even if Hungary comes around, Victoria should have pretty much the entire forefoot for the score.
Okay.
Yeah, so Russia just making sure they'll be able to put another point on the board.
Yeah, it's a smart way to play it if you're in trouble early. If you end up with those stones back of the tee line, I think it's really good to just blast it and make sure that you can score rather than find yourself in a situation where you might be drawing or tapping against 2 or 3. So Schultz seemed to have found his draw weight a lot better. Just want this to curl a bit more. And I would think that Victoria Moiseeva can see pretty much all of this. She could play the nose hit.
Такая счет.
Да?
Давай. Жесткий борт.
А?
Нормально, не мягко.
Борт, да?
So board weight for Victoria Moiseeva. Need to make this good. Can't over curl it, that would leave a steal of 2, so really need to be accurate with this one. Seems like Piotr is happy with the line, and there you go. Russia scores 1 in the third end. They will lead the game 3 shots to 2.
An interesting third end in the North American battle. Canada scoring a 3 in the third end, now to make it a 5 shots to 2 lead for the Maple Leafs. And we also have Sweden picking up a deuce in the third end to tie the game up at 2 each against Estonia. Seems like the Norway-Denmark game has yet to finish their third end. Well, actually, the last stone just coming down here, and looks like Norway's lying a couple in the top of the 12-foot. Denise DuPont just trying to manage her way through. All the rocks at the top of the house, no problems. Finds the pin, actually, as she's done a few times this week. And it's a score of 1 for Denmark. So a tied game there as well, at 2 points each after 3. Victoria Moiseeva will kick off this fourth end. Maybe just overswept this one a tiny bit, but
that would be a tiny bit.
Very good shot. Oh, there we go. How can I get here like that?
I think we can fix it. I'll be happy to help you after the game, Sander.
Sweeping this one all the way coast to coast for Zoltkish. Comes past the guard. And will tap up the red zone. Actually, a very good shot. So a couple of nice ones here to start off with in the fourth end.
Yeah, that I'm so impressed by these players. Just playing perfect freezes, like they have the 2 best sweepers in the world out there, but they're actually getting up and sweeping their own stones.
Приз. Чуть-чуть выше.
Свип. 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 Да, пройти. Надо.
Oh, so ends up being a tad heavy there. I think they were freezing the top pillow. Moiseeva thinking plan B to get it past, but it will just tickle that top pillow, and it's not going to end up in the best spot for Russia. Hungary with last stone here. They'll be looking to play a tap on the Reds, try and move them back of the tee line.
För! Nagyon! Nagyon! Irányított nagyon! Irányított végig! Irányított végig! Végig, Dóri, végig! Előtte, végig, 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 végig! Végig.
Well, actually comes off her own yellow first. Leaves the shooter in a decent spot though, but could have definitely done a bit better with that shot. A bit of a blister. Coming. Well, we heard Hungary asking for a sewing kit earlier. I hope it's not for her finger.
No. We should probably have given them a thinner, sharper needle to work with in that case.
Okay. Yeah, blisters are no good when you're sweeping.
No, hope she can get some tape and then should, well, be back on our way. Russia, Piotr do need to be a bit careful, I think, where he puts this, because where Dorotcha's shooter ended up, there could be a fairly straightforward slash. And I think he's put it in a good spot. And that is a really nice answer by Dorotcha. He needed to be careful. I thought he had pretty much done enough, but that's a really great slash. And with Hammer having all of these stones just widespread everywhere, it's looking good for Hungary to score 1 or 2 now. Sitting 3, of course. We expect Ron to be removing a couple, though. It's kind of what he does.
Yeah. The demolition man. Might be a new nickname for him.
Demolition man.
Yeah, well, we haven't really seen him play the triples before, have we? He's throwing lead rocks for the most part. And now we see him at the mixed doubles, just making everything.
So this might just have been what he's been waiting for his entire career, and now he's really just taking his chance.
Well, he started off playing as a third for Russia in the European B group back in 2006. But last couple of seasons, he has played lead.
And I think we might have jinxed him, because that is not a good shot. Because he got rid of the backing, that I think that yellow on the right-hand side, as you see it now, is out counting the red. So all of a sudden, Hungary can sit to line 4.
Yeah, I think you played a hit here. They're looking at drawing. I wouldn't mind lying 4.
No, I wouldn't either, especially playing a team like Russia. And with Victoria Moiseeva only has 1 shot left, so even if she makes the double, you would still have some sort of shot for 3 possibly.
Well, even if you just pick this red one and roll out, I don't see a double for Moiseeva. Those 3 yellows are so far apart on a perfect flat line. The only thing Moiseeva has is maybe freeze on the back one, draw around, or a little hit and roll. Still a chance for Hungary to score 3 or 4. So, but they are drawing. I am a bit surprised by this, actually.
Yeah, I'm really surprised by this. I think even if you hit that one, I don't think Russia's ever going to try the freeze, because it's too much of a risk.
Well, if they would, I'd love them to try it. Be worth the risk, I think. But they are drawing in here, and could set them up for a score of 3 still.
It's a really, really nice draw, but however, now Russia don't need to worry about those 2 on the wings. And now they are going to play the freeze, so they could make it difficult for Hungary.
Well, well, don't set up a double though.
No, that's a big no-no.
I think Moiseva is going to be very close with this one though.
Yeah, she's been really accurate with the draws.
I can see, you know, there might be a chance if she overcurls here and takes off the yellow, might leave a slash double for Zsoltkiss. So I got to make sure to pass that one at the top of the four.
Yes.
Moiseva, a two-time Winter University Games gold medalist, as an alternate for Anna Sidorova.
Flying.
Внимание. Свип.
О, больше.
От нашего свип. Свип. Да-да-да-да-да-да-да-да. Свип.
Probably love to
Да-да-да-да-да. Еще.
add some medals to her where she was actually playing. As you see, will come up a little heavy, come off her own red. And
Так подожди. У них же еще бросок.
I wonder if it was, is it enough for a second shot? It's kind
I
of hard to
think
tell.
So just playing the draw here, I'm sure they would love to tap it a little bit. If Russia is lying second, it would be for 3. So just back 8. Wait for a result. Surely the tap you want to make with the sweeping.
You saw him pointing at the freeze, you know, so he's playing the shot like a freeze, and if they get the line, they'll sweep for the bump, which I sort of like, because it's very easy to overthrow the shot.
Yeah. And I think they might be going, are they going to try the in off the red now because this is hanging wide?
Well, that's only going to be for 2, I think, though, unless they want to measure this. Nope, they kicked it away. But a score of 2 nonetheless. Hungary is still in the game, but at half time, we'll see 4-3 to Hungary. Russia will have last stone. It's very tight. As you see the umpire putting up a 3, which is wrong. But we'll be back in...
Or the players aren't... do you think it could have been 3?
Maybe. Wow.
Maybe you and I are wrong, Sander.
Maybe we are wrong. I was sure it was going to be 2. But it is 3. You know, our camera angle will cheat us again. And, sorry, 5 shots to 3 for Hungary. So, not so bad then. Nice plan B to come off the wide one for Zsoltkiss. So, our apologies. Here's the score line. Now, halftime. Both teams will have a break. We'll be back in a few moments. And Sarah Carlson will have some highlights for you.
I will.
Stay tuned.
It's the quarterfinals between Russia and Hungary. In the first end, Muzieva had a draw to the forefoot to score 2. And she is accurate as always, puts this on the pin. And Russia is off to a really good start. 2-0 after one end. And in the second end, after a few really nice runbacks and triples by Drawn, it was Roltkish that had a draw for 2. He puts this one where he needs to on the pin, and Hungary scores 2 back to make it a tied game. In the third end, it's again Victoria Moiseeva for Russia with the last stone, and she has a hit for 1. She hits this on the nose, and Russia is back in the lead, now 3-2. And just before the halftime break, it's Hungary sitting 2. Roltkish drawing for a 3rd point. And after some good skipping by Doroce Polanca, he comes in off the red. And it's a big score of 3 for Hungary. They lead the game 5-3. And we are now back with the second half of the game. What are your thoughts on the game so far, Sander?
We're seeing 2 very good teams throwing a lot of good shots, and no surprise, it's still fairly tight. Of course, Hungary with that 2-point lead is a little bit ahead, but Russia with last stone here, and with 4 mixed doubles ends to go, I'd say anything can happen. A few other scores elsewhere in the arena also, halftime scores. We saw USA come right back in the game with a score of 3 to tie it up against Canada, so they're tied at 5 each. Sweden starting to look good as they steal 1 point on Estonia, has turned their game around, now leading 3 shots to 2, while Norway scores a single on Denmark. They lead the game 3 shots to 2, so all games very very interesting so far. No blowouts yet in the quarterfinals.
No, of course, 8 really good teams advanced into the playoffs, and I expect the games to be really, really close. And a good start to the second half for Russia with Hammer. It's really nice to have lots of space rather than everything just around the button. So it could be good, looking good early for a multiple score. Doroce Polanca is gonna try and play the freeze here, make it perfect to close down the scoring area. And she's really on playoff form. Comes to the nose of the red, so it's really good there.
That is another nice touch shot from the 29-year-old from Leningrad, or St. Petersburg, as it might be better known today. Doroce Polanca started playing curling in 2007, but also enjoys running and playing volleyball. You think playing other sports is a plus for curling?
Yes.
Or having played sports before entering the curling world?
Yeah, I would say both. Of course, with the sweeping and the accuracy that the sport demands, it's important to be in good shape and have good body control, which other sports will help you give.
Yeah, some good hand-to-eye coordination.
Yeah.
Как ты хочешь.
So they've guarded this,
Окей.
but left a double.
What we're saying is, quit whatever sport you're doing now and start curling.
Exactly. If you're in other sports, you could be really good at curling.
Yep. Or if you're not good at any other sports.
You can be good at curling
Yep.
too. Piotr wanted to make both of the yellows go, and he's just missed it.
Yeah, needed to catch that one a little bit thinner to make both move.
And it's quite interesting to see Hungary now guarding their way out of trouble. It's lined up really nice for them. Russia can't really do anything on the out-turn side right now. So just keep guarding this. Rather than coming into the rings and maybe setting up an angle that's not too good for you, I think it's a smart call.
Yeah, I like it. I think this is an approach we've seen way too little from other teams this week. Just keep it simple. Obviously, throwing a guard should be an easier shot than coming down to corner freeze, and less risk to set up something for your opponent. Well, there might be a run back for the teams, but in this case, not sure if Russia will be able to run the guards back for a multiple score, and they will be running in a yellow guard, so don't mind the guard. Wonder if they might come through the hole here, though. If they choose to pick off the guards again. Might go bang, bang and through. If you catch it in the right spot. Usually very tough to judge these type of shots where you're coming through apart and. I think it might be possible, at least for a shooter to go through and leave nothing in front of the house. Would be the main objective. Clear things up. If the red stone goes through and makes contact with whatever's on the forefoot, I'd say that's a good bonus. And, well, it does tickle both guards, comes through, but just to take off his own red. Now, is Russia a long shot?
I don't know.
You know everything.
No. I was wrong in the previous end, remember?
That's true. We both
I'm
were.
not going to say anything about this anymore. It's close, that's for sure. I think giving up one for Hungary, it's a great result. So if they can just keep Russia to scoring one here, it's really good.
Yeah, I agree. No need to take a risk to try and steal and, possibly giving Russia a chance to score 2 or more. If you can just make a simple shot to force, I'd be very happy to have a 1-point lead with last stone in the 6th end. But of course, mixed doubles, bit of an aggressive game, and we do see players play aggressive curling all week. So that surely is the mindset.
Jó, oké. Az irány most mindennél fontosabb.
And they will come down and tap these stones up a little bit. I think Drocha Palancha was calling back 8 late.
I'm not sure you want to create any separation in this situation. It could very easily just leave a double for Russia to score 2. I think guarding this again would be a great call.
Well, Hungary feeling there's a chance to set up for a steal. Let's see what they can produce here. Last stone for Hungary.
Kicsit lassabb. Lassabb.
And I think this is going to be good.
Just a tiny tap.
Yeah, really nice shot. I'm not sure they're lying shot stone, but it's all behind the guard, so great play by Zsoltkiss.
Yeah, I'd say it's flying shot from this angle. And I think our camera's just hanging just a tiny bit behind the tee line, so
yeah,
that's why you were a bit fooled on that previous.
you were fooled too.
I was fooled. I was fooled.
This is not going to look pretty from the hack. You can just throw tee line weight and pretty much try and draw the pin here. If you're ever heavy and back 8 foot, you pick out your own. It's a steal of 2, so really need to focus here, Victoria Moiseeva.
Oh, is the shot there? Does you need to move the yellow, or is there room to just come straight to the pin? One of the things working against Moiseeva is all the rotation she puts on the rock. If she ever nudges anything, it's much easier for her shooter to just spin off. As I see her come up a bit short, maybe just keeping that in mind. That if she threw it heavy, she might have given up a steal of 2. And I think I agree that it was one yellow for Hungary, so that bold move really paying off for Zsoltkiss and Dorothea Palancha now with a 6 shots to 3 lead, and and entering the 6th end, starting to feel that Hungary might have a tiny grip on the game here.
Yeah, I think they do. They've been really good, and Russia's been chasing a little bit, so maybe just feeling the pressure of the home crowd.
Speaking of 3-point leads, 2 games out there with a 3-point deficit. Can you maybe tell us what games those are?
I certainly can, because it's Sweden that stole 2 in the 5th end against Estonia, so they're up 5-2. And Canada, after giving USA 3 in the 4th end, they scored 3 right back, so they're up 8-5. And finally, Norway, Denmark, final shots of the 5th end still to come. It's Norway with a 3-2 lead over there, Denmark with hammer.
Sweep.
Есть.
Oh, sweep.
Только линия.
Oh, sweep.
Чуть больше, чуть
Да,
больше.
sweep. Да, еще, sweep жестче. Да. Oh.
That's a really nice shot. Sitting 2, leaves her shooter in a great place.
Yeah, we talk all the time about leaving some room to score when you have last stone. That's certainly going to do that, moving the yellow all the way back. And as I said, leaves the shooter in the perfect spot as well. Good start for Russia, who really needs to pull off a few good shots here. 3 points down. As you see, Palancha wrecking on the guard. Moiseeva calling for the Another guard right away.
Yeah, it's a wise call. I think if you guard this, you might see Hungary try and pick the guard off, and then you can wait and draw for 3 maybe with your last. I think they're coming into the rings already. Gotta be careful. I know Hungary is going to be able to remove at least 2 with a good shot.
Well,
It looks like they're guarding. Or where is this going to end up?
you know, I thought they were actually calling the draw around the guard. I'm not sure.
Maybe just heavy?
Yeah, just heavy and a little bit wide. Maybe just bopped that one a bit too much. That, yeah, nothing. It's a bit of surprising to see from John.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see that too.
He's like far off everything.
And Hungary with a chance to remove a couple here. 3 points up in the game. There's no point in freezing anything anymore. If you have a chance of removing the red stones, you just need to go for it.
There's a measure taking place between Denmark and Norway. Not quite sure if any points are already scored.
Oh, and as we look for that measure, it's a huge miss by Dorocha Palanja. Actually sticks this. I think she's lucky to roll. Well, hers is in the open. And Russia lying 2 with 1 more back at the 12 foot.
Now trying this draw again, taking the same ice. So really think that was the call on that previous shot. John coming up way heavy this time. We'll try and adjust. We'll see the little teapot lift. David Nidwin, Kevin Cooey, Piotr John. It's got that in common.
That's not a bad trio right there.
I wouldn't mind having those 3 in my team. But again here, coming up a little heavy, John, and it's going to create that huge wall at the back here. Will Hungary freeze, or will they try and
I think they could get rid of pretty much all 3. I guess it's not that easy, but they are all back of the tee line, so there's plenty of backing available. They are going to play the freeze. Important freeze to make, though.
Yeah, maybe Palanja just playing to her strengths too, favouring the draw over the triple. So freezing the middle red, I think. Even tapping it, maybe half a foot, will leave her shooter in a pretty safe place.
Yeah, they just need to make sure that they talk about this all the way down, so that Rildkish can control the angles a little bit from the house. Make sure this sits in a good spot.
We'll see Dorocha with a lot less rotation than, well, especially the Russian team. We'll get a little more finish. And it's going to end up between the 2 reds on the left. I think that's actually a pretty good spot for the yellow.
Yeah, it looks like both of the reds would go if you ever played any weight on this.
Yes.
Чтобы этот убрать. Сильно не обязательно, можно 0.
Чтоб свой остался надо. И этот не вышел.
Да, я понимаю.
I'm not sure if you can even see it
Два?
behind the guard. There is a center guard in play here. So a bit of a setup shot, I think, for Russia. We'll be coming down here, tap the yellow. You'll see the back red. Maybe go all the way out, just to free up the Yellowstone for the next shot. Just hoping they might have an opportunity to score a bunch. So that's on actually very much in the open. Couldn't quite tell from where we're sitting. Well, it does free up the yellow, but again has gathered all the reds. But what does Hungary want to play here? It looks like a nose hit triple to me.
Ha megdobom, az király. Ha nem dobom meg, akkor baj.
Yeah, I would think they want to come down to the Reds with either a freeze or a hit or a blast.
Bár ha ide dobod,
Nem, a duplában az a baj, hogy...
Just figuring out, trying to figure out if the triple is there.
nem még a dublát, hanem majd leteszed, akkor neki benne van az, hogy...
Well, they're up 3, so even if they just get rid of enough to leave Russia with the score of 2,
Vagy mint hogy sima freeze.
if they leave their shooter in a good place, it's might not even be an easy score of 2. So
Igen, így van.
Ha szélesebb a
Timeout called.
Yep.
Ha söpörjük, akkor benne van
See,
az, hogy
Zoltán.
inkább ragadjunk ki.
Make his way down onto the
Már
ice.
nem biztos, hogy ki fog menni. Hát azért inkább innen dobnám. Tetszik egyébként ez is, ha megdobjuk.
Igen, nekem ez az alhívás.
De
Ez lenne az alhívás.
és milyen kösebb.
Zoltán Palanca,
A Dori mondja ezt,
father
nekem
of
tetszik,
Dorotya.
ha megdobjuk.
Here he is.
Ilyen is gondolkodtam, hogy ha ide rakjuk, akkor nem valószínű, hogy tud egynél többet. Nem hiszem. Az a baj, hogy ez lehet, hogy beragad, és még lehet, hogy az is beragad. A Dori mondja még ezt is.
Amelyiket te érzed.
Ha nem jó, akkor mikor. Sőt, még lehet, hogy ha itt áll meg, és nem jó az, vagy neki jó az, hogy még lehet, hogy az is kimegy, és öt. Freeze? Mindenki oké vele? Akkor freeze.
Jeget hova? Biztos onnan dobnád?
Innen? De viszont akkor kell a koc, mert az ív már nem annyira jó.
Ha
Hát akkor egy 8-as, 9-es. De innen meg nincs meg az ív már. Vagy dobunk egy duplát erre.
meg lehet innen az ív, mert nekem még... De akkor a kettője dob.
Akkor kettő. Dobjuk innen. Mert még ha itt megáll, még az se tragédia.
So really
Ha
thinking
megáll
this one
itt, még
through.
az se. Mert még ha megüt a dubát, még az is csak max. 2.
Jó. Tehát akkor csak freeze.
Hát a freeze innen
It's
nincs
tough
nagyon
to
benne.
freeze this red though with that corner guard in play.
yeah,
I don't think you'll be able to dead freeze it. You're gonna have to come
Nincs
down and
benne a
tap it.
freeze, az ív.
yes.
I can't say for sure, but I say the triple's
Irány.
pretty close. Should catch
Dobjuk
it
innen.
maybe a
And-
hair inside. Or are they looking to freeze it on the out turn?
Yeah, they were talking about it now, I think, but
It seems,
just hit
Mit szólnál egy
this.
duplához?
or are they drawing around the
Maybe,
guard, try
yeah.
and draw a top 4 to lie second shot?
Yeah, it would be
could
good
be a
if you
call.
make it perfect, but if you ever don't curl enough and leave the
Belül
double Russia sitting 4,
Honnan érzed?
I think they could take a look at the scoreboard here. They're up 3.
Is
Ha
this
nincs meg
the,
a dupla,
is this the hit
még
call?
az is lehet,
Either
hogy
the hit or the
csak
draw
bepatol a
around the
másik elé. Kicsit
Yeah.
beljebb. Hát ezt a követ akarom eltalálni duplával.
Spent a lot of time on this.
It looks
Go.
like they have ice for the takeout.
Vonál.
Yeah, I think nose hit's pretty close, maybe a hair towards the center line. There's a chance they might all go, but
Hó!
it's not playing
Super!
massive weight for the shot.
Hó! Hó!
See if it's enough for the Reds to go. Oh, that's gonna end
Yeah.
up.
I think that was worth thinking about for so long. Really, really nice hit.
Yeah, not sure if that was the plan, but that works out really well for Hungary.
Yeah,
The double and roll to freeze.
Hát ezt kicsit elbeszéltük, úgyhogy majd
Lying 2 and Russia will have to draw for 1.
rohanni nem kell, időnk van.
Does it make it a little tougher the draw, having to stand there and wait for so long?
maybe. Well, quite often we see misses after timeouts,
Yeah.
which could be just players getting out of their rhythm. But mixed doubles isn't at all the same rhythm. So Victoria Moiseeva has been waiting for this since she threw her first one. So I think she'd be fine. Just need full forfeit here.
Oh, drawn out to help, and really need to bring this one into the forfeit to score. Cannot afford another steal.
And this is going to be absolutely perfect.
Nice shot by Victoria Moiseva, but it's only for the single, as Hungary will lead the game 6 shots to 4 after 6 ends. Still some work to do, Team Russia, as for Moiseva, could very well be back-to-back worlds, where she's gone undefeated through the round robin and lost the quarterfinal.
And here you see the team that have, well, not the entire team, but some girls that have picked up a gold medal in Sochi before, World Juniors. Fourth players, Julia Portonova, amongst others.
Yep, and Kovalyeva. Also see Olga Sharkova up there, enjoying the Ice Cube Curling Center and this week's action.
2 ends to go in the quarterfinal now between Hungary and Russia. 84% for Victoria Moiseva. Those are good numbers in mixed doubles.
Yeah, not a ton of misses so far in the game. Maybe a couple of key shots here and there. But definitely a fairly high standard game. And Moiseva has made these freezes better than on this occasion before.
Yeah, but well, it comes out short, which is better than being heavy. They do need to steal, so maybe 2 center guards could be the way to go. And there you see Hungary with the mistake of being heavy. 76% for Zsoltkish, also very good numbers. And now those 2 center guards could come in handy. I think for Hungary it's okay to give up a steal of 1, but they really, if they could ever score in this end, it's going to look great for them. And Norway scored 1 in the 6th end, so tied game against Denmark. Denmark with Hammer in the 7th over there. That's a really nice draw again. I wonder if, yeah, the double on the guards would be the best shot for Hungary. Open things up, try and keep this simple. Just treat this as a regular game. You're 2 points up, 2 ends to go. Don't overcomplicate things. But if you make the perfect tap, could also be good. But it's just there's not really any good options but the tap. So you need to be more perfect with this shot. But well, 86% for Dorotsha. It's amazing numbers in mixed doubles curling. And when you don't make this perfect, it's starting to look a bit more troublesome. Russia is really going to go all out for the steal, of course.
Moiseva was thinking about the guard first, but now I think they might just come down and try and tap that Yellowstone back a foot and try and flop over onto their other red and lie 2 behind the guards. You know, 2 down here. Got to steal 3 ends in a row if you only get the singles. So, as I said, going all out. Maybe trying to steal 2, but really needs to catch the inside of the yellow here. Not as tight to the guard this time. Well, roll freeze the yellow.
Да.
Not too bad, but
Почему-то очень сильно, видимо, свалил. Я это встала немножко вот настолько пошире, думаю, ну,
wasn't
вот
quite what they were hoping for. As Zsoltkish now eyeing up that double on the guards. Well, doesn't get the double, but removes one red. No obvious shot for Russia here.
надо гард
Здесь
ставить.
они будут бить, наш останется на лучшего.
Да.
Закрываем
Центральный?
просто красный.
Just thinking maybe guard this and
Вот этот
take
хочешь
our
больше
one.
закрыть?
Просто красный, лобовой.
Этот?
I think that's probably the best call. Try and make a tap or something here.
А ты не
So
боишься
I
отсюда?
too
Ладно.
might just ruin the
сразу
whole
не закроешь.
setup for it.
Да, да, окей.
Really need to be the next team to score again.
Гард,
Воу. Можно немножко, да? Воу, нет, нет, не надо.
средний,
Воу.
ближний,
Поменяться.
ближний,
Воу, тогда не надо.
ближний,
Если ближний, то не надо.
ближний.
Blizny should be a very, very
Замашку
close guard.
можно? Свип! Свип!
Well, it's actually in the rings.
Свип еще! Свип еще!
Not the first time we've seen that happen this week. Guard slipping into the rings.
Középsővel nem jobb! Középsővel! Középsővel! Azzal nem jobb!
Nincs benne szög.
Now you'll see Palancha, I think, try and run that stone back into the pile.
Fön. Oh, oh.
Does not make contact, however, and Russia will be left the same shot, the same guard, if they choose to play it.
First time out.
Yeah, I think they are guarding, but they could also make a play on this. Try and remove the yellow and even
Теоретически он
sit
это
two.
совсем немножко должен.
Yeah, of course, now down to the last shot.
Если я чуть пошире.
Well, look,
Хотя
you-
если чуть пошире,
Less,
то он
less
сюда
risk to make a
заходит.
move.
Возьмем.
Да. Да.
We'll call a timeout here to discuss this a little bit further. Could be a key shot or a key moment in the game.
Нам обязательно.
Да,
And we'll see
конечно.
Sergei Belanov make his way
Немножко вот
down to the
опасно
ice.
вот с этой стороны, да? Ну, такой.
We'll try and listen in, see if we can
Да.
pick up
Может быть, эту
a
сторону
word or
не
two.
надо трогать. Здесь у
Well,
них
unless they say Kalotka,
Здесь они бьют.
we might not,
у них
but we'll
получается,
listen
наш, наверное,
anyway.
лучше, да? Этот отходит,
По
этот
идее,
туда
должен, да.
отходит. Либо мы как-то, может быть, рискуем. Если мы вот сделаем тэп, да, смотри, у них стоит сзади, у нас стоит камень здесь, но это может быть какой-то тройной.
Ну, он здесь легкий сыграет один, да?
А если я вот сюда привезу? Ну, вот отсюда, вот так.
Отсюда, скорее отсюда ведь, нет?
Блин, просто отсюда опасно.
А отсюда так не валят. Ты
Да,
хочешь, чтобы он
плохо
вот так
открыть.
прошел?
Нет.
Либо тэп, либо гард. Ну, блин,
Вот насчет тэпа,
либо
мне
фриз, но
правда
фриз здесь
нравится
очень
тэп. Еще и
рискованно.
занутриться, если получится, было бы вообще, конечно, супер.
Чуть-чуть, да.
Чуть-чуть.
А каким весом?
6 за.
8
Буквально,
за, 6
чтобы
мало.
вот этот отодвинуть вот сюда.
Это
Сильнее.
8 надо.
8, да.
Даже-
Хотите в лоб прийти?
Да.
Чуть ну, было бы супер занутриться немножко.
Вообще бэклайн даже, если называть вещи своими
Ну
именами,
да,
чтобы сюда камень
да,
пришел.
бэклайн.
Чуть шире встанете и под тройник, да?
Вот этого боимся, да. Но либо не рисковать, закрывать, но они могут отсюда его вытолкать, и тогда, ну, вообще. Мне
Ну,
кажется, надо
там
тэп
не
делать.
просто вытолкнуть.
Из-за счета.
Да, из-за счета.
Красть. 2 делать?
Да.
А что, он тебя один не пробьет, что ли? Один точно пробьет.
А если я занутрюсь? Вот так.
Нутриться
Хотя он может
нельзя,
тогда
ты
вот
что,
так
нутриться
пробить.
нельзя, иначе он много в этот попадет.
Что вы думаете?
Я думаю, что надо рисковать. 6 футов за, занутряться.
Занутряться?
Ладно, мы сейчас обсудим. А если занутриться, а что тебе не нравится?
А он больше в этот не попадет. Ну давай, все. Стей или нутримся. Бэклайн вес. Нормально. Ну, мы так с тобой, помнишь, везли.
So I think they are making a move here. You know, the thought you need to have in your head here is
Просто
Let's
лучше
test
стей,
it.
чем
best time
гад.
to maybe steal 2, knowing if they only steal the 1,
Пяти.
they're going to have to either steal 2 in the next end or steal twice in a row to win the game. So thinking maybe this is their chance to do that. Steal 2. They will try and play a tap on the top red, remove the yellow, and try and sit 2. I don't know if they can spin the shooter into maybe lie 3 even. Not completely sure what the exact call is, but
Точно?
backline wait here.
Да-да-да-да-да. Тип. О, о. Тип, тип, тип. Жестче. О, 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 о.
Will catch the inside, taps it back. I think they are lying 2. And the angles are not looking too bad for Russia.
No, I think Hungary might need to come on the outturn and see if they can try and tap the shot stone back.
Or maybe even just cool draw to give up 1.
Yeah.
Or do they have the slash here?
Csak behívjuk.
Any risk in playing the slash on the 2 shot stones?
Hát innen most nincs meg a cebbek.
I don't
It
think.
doesn't look like it's going to direct onto the yellow in anyway, so
Nope.
that could be a good option.
Nyilván semmiképp se legyen, hogy
Canada scores 1 in the 7th end, 9-6 over USA. Norway steals 1 against Denmark in the 7th end, so they lead 5-4 for the 8th end. Sweden has actually scored 3 in the 7th and beat Estonia 8 shots to 3. So one of the quarterfinals over. Sweden will progress to one of the semi-finals. Who plays who, we won't know for sure until all the games are over, and probably not in time for us to tell you. There's some ranking to be done by the umpires.
Yeah, to make sure that it's fair in the semi-finals.
So they will play this slash. I don't think there's a big risk, and if you make it, you will score 1. Well, if you make contact, at least you're not giving up steal of more than 1. All tied on line, perhaps. Here's Roltkish having a bit of a wobble coming out the hack. Now Dorota Palancha calling him off again. Contact, boom, there we go. 1
great
for
shot.
Hungary. So in the end, not paying off for Russia to make the move into the house. Had the chance to throw the guard, and it probably would have been a safe steal. So that's going to change the game a little bit.
Yeah, big turnaround, and Russia is really going to need to pull out the best tricks now. Down by 3. Although Hungary doesn't really seem to favor the hitting game. Could maybe leave some stones in play, usable for Russia. Still, a score of 3 is easier in mixed doubles than it is in regular curling, but it still isn't an easy task when you're at this level.
hat. Erő jó.
So, freeze is called by Hungary. Even though they're 3 up with in this game, they will play the freeze. It's a call that makes the most sense either way.
Yeah, that's how mixed doubles work. And off to a really good start in what could be the final end of this quarter-final.
Do you approach this end a bit differently when you have to score 3, Sarah?
Well, no, just play an aggressive end, maybe try and tap some things around. And just like in a regular game, down by 3, you're not really going to be throwing any takeouts. Just try and get lots of good draws in there.
I think you want.
How would you approach it?
No, I'd say maybe err on the freeze side and tapping and rolling off, leaving stones in the open for Hungary to hit. Just make sure you get some stones in the forefoot, use that guard. As we see Moiseva sliding to the back 8, really not where she wanted to put that one. And Hungary with a chance to put another yellow one on top. Might prove difficult for Russia to bring those back reds into play. Another final out there in the ice cube. Canada has just beaten USA 9 shots to 6, ran them out of stones in the 8th end. So Canada also through to the semi-final, or one of the semi-finals. 2 games still ongoing. The one you're watching and the one between Denmark and Norway. Denmark with last stone 1 point down against Norway. And they have 4 stones to play.
Воу! Воу! Нет! Нет! Ничего! 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 Ничего, 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 супер идет. Сейчас свали немножко.
Этот свой пакет.
Молодец. Хорош.
It's a really nice shot by Drawn. And, well, 2 yellows in the forefoot, but 3 reds in the rings. And as we said, Hungary not electing a hitting game.
No, of course, if you make all your draws, shouldn't be a chance for Russia to score the necessary 3. But of course, leaving all the reds in play.
You could leave some sort of circus shot.
Yeah. At least a mathematical chance to score 3 or more. This one, some good tolerance. Coming down in the pocket. Oh, looking really tough for Russia. We're going to have to move all these yellows out the forefoot, and that top one's not going anywhere at the moment. No timeouts left for Russia. They have 2 minutes to play the last 3 stones.
That should be enough though, thinking time-wise.
Of course, they spent about 2 minutes on their timeout. So we don't have the same time to discuss shots.
Куда ты хочешь гордом попасть?
Я хочу гордом попасть вот сюда, вот в этот, чтобы убрать вот этот.
You need to move something here, that's for sure. You need to move at least one yellow. I'm starting with the top ones. And of course, there's guard in the way, and I think they might be playing a run back here.
down by 3. It is Russia running the guard. And just drive it by.
Yep, not going to make contact with anything. And Hungary, I think, like how things are setting up in the house, so they're just going to replace the guard.
Yeah.
And it's
a complete opposite of what you would expect in a regular curling game. But this is mixed doubles. It's what makes it exciting.
Kettes jó, a kettes jó, Anyas!
Kettő, három, kettő.
Gyorsabb, gyorsabb!
Nem.
Anyas!
Három,
Irány miatt semmi,
kettő,
irány miatt
három.
semmi.
Kettő.
Föld! Föld!
guard looking
Végig, Dori, végig.
pretty good for
Végig, végig, végig.
Hungary.
Oké, föld.
Could have curled another few inches. So actually, a chance for John to come down and play a tap on the top yellows, but still a lot of work to do. As we see Norway with 2 reds in the forefoot, 2 yellow Danish rocks in the back of the house. Oliver DuPont throwing his last one before Skip Rocks. Norway having 48 seconds left on the clock to play their final stone.
And that's well, that's a nice shot by Drawn, but I think it should be enough for Hungary to remove that to make sure that there's no score of 3 available. It's actually hard to see how you score 3 the way it's sitting right now.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't really know how you do that. So got to make sure not to maybe move too many things around. Change all the angles. Norway's last stone coming down on sheet Delta against Denmark. They are lying shot, but there's plenty of yellows around. Kristin Skaslin coming around the guard to try and sit 2. Doesn't seem like the shot is coming off like planned. And it has come to a stop. Not very hard to see if Denmark has a shot for the win, but Magnus Nedregotten not looking too happy with the result. As Joltkesh coming down here with some weight on our sheet.
Could be the final shot for the game here.
Well,
has he left the triple?
Oh, there might be a chance. You'll have to catch it really thin. Will the top one go enough sideways to make contact with the one on the left?
It's definitely worth a try.
I think it's there, as you see the clocks for our teams.
This is when, if you're Hungary, you might regret even throwing that last one.
Wow. So just don't rush it here, Moiseva. You got 40 seconds, more than enough time. Gonna have to throw some real weight, and crowd now cheering her on. Maybe not what she was needing. And she settles down. Last stone of the game.
For the extra end. It's gonna be close. Oh.
Just gonna catch the guard. A steal of 3 for Hungary. Not that it matters, but a 10-4 victory for Hungary as they progress to the semi-final. Just gonna see Denmark's last stone coming down the sheet as well against Norway. She has not been able to pull it off, Denise DuPont, and Norway also will win. So Norway, Sweden, Hungary and Canada make it through to the semi-finals of the mixed doubles World Championship.
Yes, so much excitement as we have entered the playoff stages now. There will only be 4 teams left. And you see the final score of the game here. Hungary with the win, 10 shots to 4. Of course, stick around for an interview with Team Hungary and highlights. We're also going to try and give you an interview with Team Russia. Quarterfinal between Russia and Hungary, and in the first game it was Victoria Moiseva that had a draw to the button for 2, and she's got perfect draw weight, perfect line, comes to the button, and Russia off to a great start with a score of 2. In the second end it's Zsolt Kish that now has a draw for 2. He's got plenty of space to make this one, and well controlled. Hungary scores 2 back to tie the game up after 2 ends. And in the third end, it's again Victoria Moiseva with the last stone. And she needs to hit this on the nose to score 1. And she will make it to put Russia back in the lead, 3-2. Just before the halftime break, it was Zsolt Kish that had a draw for 3, hanging a bit wide, but some good line call by Dorothea Palancha. They will come off the red, roll into the forefoot, and a big score of 3 for Hungary to move ahead 5-3. And fifth end, it's a very, very tricky situation for Victoria Moiseva. She needs the pin and also to move the yellow one to score. She will come up a bit too short, and Hungary with a steal, they will move ahead 6-3. In the sixth end, it was Hungary sitting 2 after Zsolt Kish played a really, really great takeout. So Victoria Moiseva, she's left with a draw to the forefoot to score 1. And again, perfect T-line weight from the Russian player, and they will catch up a little bit to Hungary, 6-4. Before the seventh end, Russia set up to steal here before Zsolt Kish plays this slash double, gets through the both of them, gets a score of 1, and they will lead the game 3 points, 7-4 before the final 8th end of this quarterfinal. A tricky triple is on for Victoria Moiseva. This would take her and Team Russia to the extra end. And she's going to come close, but she will wreck on the guard. Hungary actually steals another 3. They will move on to the semis. Final score is Hungary 10, Russia 4.
Прошел бы как раз.
So game's over and you're through to the semi-finals. Describe the moment.
It feels great to do it 3 times in a row. We are happy that we could beat Russia. They're a really tough team. They were among the teams who could win a medal, and we are happy that now we have a chance to win that medal.
It seems like both teams were making some good shots, but what did you think tipped the game in your favor?
I think when they had to take out the stones, then it means that we are lying really well. That's why we tried to build up a game with a lot of freezes, and I think that was the key point.
Now you're a former champion. Are you as hungry for the gold again this year?
Yeah, we hope so.
Hope so, yes.
Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.